Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me for another episode of the MI podcast. So today we'll discuss about LinkedIn advertising. LinkedIn, we all, have used it for such a long time since we've been professionals. I mean, today, when a person is even in college, they create a LinkedIn account of themselves and they must be putting up, their internships, whatever they are doing, as well as all the other kind of you can say project based work, because a lot of in Gen Z they are doing quite a bit of work apart from their college also. So working professionals, it is, I mean, I do not know anybody who doesn't have a LinkedIn, like a white collar workforce where they don't have a LinkedIn account, because everyone sees the need for it in terms of being discovered for through the content for if you are working full time, so that would be jobs. If you're a freelancer, projects. If you're a businessman, then you can get discovered from their B2B marketing, all that takes place there. Even on, I mean, B2C, big brands have started doing quite a bit of work on LinkedIn, because end of the day, even the B2C brands, they need to do quite a bit of good employer branding. And majorly where employer branding happens is on LinkedIn. All the major, I mean, if you take the event industry, you would think that it's majorly a B2C thing, right? A lot of we all come down for various entertainment events, but you'll be surprised to know that majorly the majority of it is B2B, right? So how these events are even marketed, it is happening on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a huge place for any professional to market themselves, and brands also have been doing that. People have started. You have LinkedIn solutions also, all kinds of sale tools that they use, how you can get the value from their humongous amount of data they have, and very targeted, very specific, and there's no other platform where you can be that targeted. For example, you can target like say a sales manager in a certain area in New York City, in a certain size of company, in terms of with respect to say their revenue or the number of employees they have and all those things. So I mean the list, or how, I mean, in terms of you can go is endless in terms of the filtering of it. Like you can get amazingly granular on that, and you have a very specific, so very less amount of wastage is there on LinkedIn advertising. But due to this, the cost is the highest in LinkedIn advertising, in terms of, like, if you take the figures of cost per impression or the cost per click and all, those are specifically highest because of the value in terms of the data that is at hand there. And the qualified leave in terms of percentage will be much more in this kind of like a LinkedIn advertising compared to any addressing any other social media. So let us now come to the specific episode is about, that is about I would like to cover the types of LinkedIn ads, right? So what if you are looking to advertise on LinkedIn, what are the different kind of ad formats that you can have? So firstly, you have sponsored content. So here I like to showcase it to you all, the sponsored content basically. So firstly, you have single image ads. So this is kind of the most common form of advertising that they have, the ad that is there. And within this you have just a single image there in the feed when it's coming, like when we go through our feed, like we going through any other social media, is we scroll through it, like we see what is kind of interesting to watch or read. And in this, the sponsored content comes as a single image, like was one banner, and then some text and all can be obviously added to that. So this is kind of the starter thing. Like you generally start by using this. Like if you're first time you are using LinkedIn advertising. So here, an average CTR is 0.35. So it's like 0.35. You should understand is like 1,000 people. Um, if they have seen, there is most probably um, the click-through rate of this would be 35 people out of 1,000, right? So that, just get that in context, right? 1,000, maybe 35 will click. And then the cost per click for this is around $6, right? So that's quite, expensive in that terms. But this is just the basic. So you're starting out with this, and you get, like, I mean, this kind of is used for people who just want to create a bit of a brand awareness. Then you have your sponsored content would be for video ads. That's right. So in video ads, excuse me, in video ads, we would would have more engagement, definitely. Like video always has more engagement compared to images. So I mean, when you going to the school, it is more probable. So obviously, this kind of ad would appeal more. And then, as you see, the CPC there is again is $9, much more than previously when you saw. And CTR is kind of similar only for this, because videos and all, I mean, on LinkedIn and all, maybe they're not appealing that much. When you're seeing it on this thing, maybe people are doing more readings. This would have been much more a click-through rate if it was on some other platform. But this is what you see in this video ads. In this is the same thing in the basically scroll that we have. Then we have carousel ads. Carousel ads is just mimicking the same thing like carousel posts, and carousel posts have the maximum, you can say, engagement on LinkedIn that we have kind of seen. A lot of LinkedIn influencers also have posted about that, where they have posted on carousel posts compared to the same thing if they were put in just in a text format or just one single image. This has more because you stop on that. That's interesting, and then you go through those. You scroll through. It's like swiping thing. Through those posts, like, hey, what is interesting? Okay, point one, point two, and it's just visually showcase. Uh, it's like a spoon feeding, right? The more people, the reality is the more spoon feeding that is there for an audience, um, the audience will lap up that more. That's why video has the maximum amount of views, right? Like compared to the, say, a texting where you have to put in effort and read it. So that is the reality of this. Here you have CTRs 0.35 and all, and CPC is around $8. So this is just general averages that they have via LinkedIn. Like this is a general average, nothing. It can be anywhere depending on the industry you are in, on who you are actually targeting. Then is a very interesting ones is event ads. Very specifically, LinkedIn events has come up in a big way, and I'm really happy how they've utilized this thing. Like you having, I think now even we have LinkedIn audio there. Like it is something mimicking what a clubhouse would do. So you can set up an audio event also. Now these all these kind of events, any kind of event in LinkedIn, like this is a LinkedIn live. So LinkedIn live would be also like you can put it out as an event, right? So these events, then when you're doing it at a mass scale, there's a lot of money involved. Then you would want to make sure a lot of people register for that particular event, right? So these ads help within that a very focused audience. So here is, if you have a B2B event with a good budget, I would kind of recommend that you use event ads. Little bit still, I feel within LinkedIn, for the Indian audience, how much it's affordable in terms of only maybe major, really big brands can afford it in the B2B space. But rest, I feel it's kind of really expensive, especially for a performance marketer who has to justify the return on investment. Like if you see it's an event at around $6 is if I'm paying for a click. I mean, what am I charging? At least I have to have $100 ticket for that, right? So minimum. And so like those events equivalent to Indian rupees would be like around 8 to 10,000 is the ticket of it. So now you all, I would like to ask you like how many events you was paying for, in you're paying 8 to 10,000 rupees for a single ticket for that. So those all things are there, but I would say this is kind of a content where sponsored content category very focused for events, which is a very good thing. So, lastly, you have another good addition of sponsored content for documents, because B2B is majorly sold on when you start the sales process. It's about case studies, white papers, all those things. So, if you want to circulate that among very specific audience, so that's where you can have the document based ads, where I think if you just give them, it's something like you give your name. Most common is give your name and email ID, and then pretty much you get that particular document and all. And so I think this is pretty good addition that LinkedIn had for their particular advertisements. So I would say overall sponsored content was a good idea because it just comes in your feed, and wherein you can show, but it has to be designed in such a way that the person stops and is like within 1 or 2 seconds he's able to get certain um, attraction towards the thing to it, because normally people would not be interested in their sponsored which is in any social media network. So same way, but it is for more people in the business aspect, so it should appeal to them in that way. Next we have sponsored messaging. So sponsored messaging is when you're directly targeting the guy in the person you're targeting in the inbox. So within this, I would say first you have your conversion ad. So a very specific kind of a message you send, like for example, you has given like you signing up for a free demo. Something most of like when you talk about B2B is SaaS product marketing. So SaaS product is marketing is sold on the first you have the product demo, you understand the product, and then you can take it further from there. So here is just a direct sign up, and these are kind of you all would have observed when you go on these ads, and then you say sign up or register a webinar or something. Directly it takes up your you don't have to fill in the form also, right? You just take a click because it takes that data like your phone, email ID, what you have entered profile on LinkedIn. So this I feel is make it even more likelihood of converting, which is a good thing, which in LinkedIn and for the marketers. So this is, I think, a very good ad, and this comes directly in the inbox. Then you have your message based ad. So this is not there. You can differentiate it. Conversion is when like it's about a demo or something. Here it's just a message. Now whatever message you want, you can craft in it. So here I would say it's more focused on you and your creativity of your company. So firstly the brand, like if anybody is approaching anybody on the inbox, first you'll have a look at the person, where he works, and they'll go on your profile. So the profile should be pretty good, which company you're working for, and what you stated within that message, right? So it's a kind of a sponsored messaging at a little bit more massy. We all are using, like a lot of sales teams, they'll use Sales Navigator, and they'll be messaging. But this puts it on a level where it's at a mass scale, like because there is a limit to how much you can do even in a team, depending on the size, how many people can be approached. With sponsored messaging, it is a mass. So like you can say you are in Mumbai, you can send it to all, say, HR managers in Mumbai or something like that. So, a certain, obviously, there is a limit to it. It depends on how much you're paying or your budget is. But I mean, something like that, it really would increase your likelihood because it's about numbers. At the end of the day, digital advertising is something where you have to get certain numbers to convert, right? Like because the conversion rates you see 1%, 2%, this is the conversion rate. So you, unless you're having some, your reach outs, and here also we are seeing like when we were saying, CETA as point 0.5, point 0.6, then you need to reach out a lot of people. So this is also another good form of message ads that they have. Next, we go right to it where you have the lead gen forms. So lead gen forms are something which like they come onto your screen, and it's a direct form you have to fill for, it could be some event or something, this thing. So these kind of things, it's just right up to it, and you can do it at a mass scale, and we have received quite a bit of these kind of forms in our this thing. So I think there is some error, that's why it's not showing up in this. I'll just look it up 1 second. Yeah, just bit of an error, but lead gen forms are basically they have a around a CPC of $12.5 and all this. So these are the most expensive because they are the most valued to get leads. Like B2, it's a B2B platform at the end of the day. That's right. So sorry, just a bit of a technical error on this. I'll just go back to this. So basically, if you see the how these things are working in advertising for LinkedIn is new. These innovations have come up to make it easier and to reach your specific audience, and then for them to make the decision to go ahead with your product or service. So I feel these kind of campaigns would really help companies that are B2B, which are doing it at a mass scale. That's right. Yes. Sorry that error still persists, but we'll just maybe continue with this. So next would be our text ads. That's right. I'll just showcase it. I think I'll just take this from my other slide only. I'll just showcase it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go back to the lead gen. So lead gen is this is how it looks for this thing. This is if you see the video ads part I discussed earlier, this is how it looks for the video ads. Generally on mobile view, if you see this, which is quite, you can say, it just puts it out. It pops definitely. Carousel ads, like you can have advertising some kind of really good for products that are sold to business professionals there. Then we'll come to the lead gen form. So like you can see here in this lead gen forms, how these thing is there basically. Just certain details are wanted, and then you click submit basically, and that's how it goes forward. Awesome. Now let us go to the text ads. The text ads are generally displayed. I don't think these come up in mobile. These are mostly on desktop only. They come towards the right that you see some, about this. So they are generally on the right. Most of these, I think, are only on desktop. So here, as you can see, I won't be much in favor. Though I think they are excuse me, one of the cheapest. But I won't be in the favor so much of using this. But this is one kind of the ad types. Then you have the display ad category, and in display ads you have your spotlight ads. So in spotlight ads, your image is taken from your profile, right? And then it puts the whichever brand is being advertised on it. So it is more, you're more likely to look. Obviously, when you see your own face there in an advertisement, something, it is, you are more likely to take attention. It's about attention. Everybody in advertising is, they do is to get attention, and now to get the attention is quite, difficult of people, because of social media and all these things. So much of media that we are this thing, and we are just continuously, which is also a bad habit. But that's the reality in terms of the attention has to be gained, like, of the people. So this is another tactic of quickly getting the attention, and then going forward with the thing. So spotlight ads, I think this has been a new addition. You can see the CPC around $5. So which is kind of also in the higher category, but something which can, you can try it out. But these are ads, I would say, a part of it, like can't be the main. I would say the main would be sponsored content, sponsored messaging. This is just additional. If you have big budgets, you can have all these as supplementary advertising. And there's a really great addition about follower ads. So now LinkedIn is just not about a platform where, people have their profiles and all, like you have on dating apps. I mean to say, like, it's just not the profile. It is about also why social media is more reliable. I would say, when you say compared to a specific, a profile, social media place where it's about a like a job site, or like like when I mentioned, matchmaking apps. And also is you have, because there is no social proof in that, right? You are connecting with the person, just a profile, right? Even when you go on Amazon and all these sites, it's like you are going through make my trip. Why do they have the reviews section, right? And star ratings and all this thing. That's because you know the engagement, what the other people have also talked about you, and in the circle, like even today with the followers, end of the day, people, that is a reference point, like how many followers. That's the first thing. Then we'll see the engagement. Once they've seen the decent amount of followers, then what is, the engagement, like how many people are this thing. That's how marketers or anybody is seeing it. So that social proof is a reality, and you have to kind of build on that. LinkedIn has also realized that they have to promote influencers and all, and how to also you promote yourself on social media also is through advertising. That is the reality, and that is with these follower ads. And follower ads mostly, not, I'm saying, just for a content creator per se. It's also for the brand pages. So brands also have targets to increase their follow, because then whatever they post, they will get more reach end of the day. So these kind of ads are for that. And if you have a loyal LinkedIn following, is much as a domain expert, is 100 times more valuable than it on Insta and Facebook and all the frivolous kind of platforms where it's just about, that dopamine rush, and people are just coming and seeing things attractive, things, entertainment and whatever. So it's beyond this. It's about people who are going to be using it for their work and all very specifically. So your following has much more value, and that's what they identified. And that ad is to help you grow your following. Awesome. Great. So that would be it. That is the episode of LinkedIn ads. I hope you all enjoy the same, and definitely you will can DM me if you have any doubts regarding this different kind of LinkedIn advertising and how you can use it in your marketing for yourself or as a company. When you're doing it is too kind of expensive. Honestly, this in India is just being done by big B2B brands. Budgets of, I mean, if you don't have budgets of at least a couple of lakhs a month or more than that for LinkedIn ad, it doesn't make sense. This is, I'm talking for the international audience. This I'm talking INR. INR. So, so in terms of that, LinkedIn advertising is quite, you can say, focused. That is the thing. And it can has to be utilized if you are representing these brands and they would have targets of getting certain amount of leads. So definitely, please go ahead and use this. And it is part of your suite as a performance marketer, especially in the B2B industry. Definitely. Awesome. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time. I'll see you until next one. Take care. See you.